Good morning. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Vauxhall East. I'm quite tired today. I did a running session this morning, not for climbing, but I want to keep my general fitness up for hockey. So I did that, but my legs are quite tight. I've been stretching for the last hour in here and they're still very sore. But yeah, different one today. I think I'm going to go on the circuit board and do it properly this time. No one hand shenanigans. Doing it properly on here. See how difficult I can climb on this. I want to do a bit more lead climbing and I also want to do a bit of deep water soloing this summer. So I want to get my endurance up. And it also is just nice to do something a little bit different from bouldering, a little bit less powerful and a bit more methodical and yeah, thought-provoking, I guess, on the walls in here. So I'm going to jump into some climbs on this. I've not warmed up yet, other than the stretching that I did earlier. So I'll probably just do the easiest. The green is an F5, which I think is a, I don't know, V1 or something, V0. So I'll go around and do that one as a warm-up. And then I just want to see how hard I can climb on this, because obviously it's a very different style to bouldering. So I'm not sure how hard I can climb on this, but I think I'm going to look at the blue. It's an F7A, which I believe is a V6. So I'm going to probably jump into that one. But yeah, first one will be the green F5. Okay, so the green route starts with two hands here, and it is a right to left. So I'm going to be going from right to left and then up and around in a loop back to the start in here. Obviously should be a very easy one. I'm hoping it doesn't pump me out too much. So yeah, we're going to take it steady, try and do it as fluidly and almost as quickly as possible as well, but in a precise and accurate way as well. So we'll see how we get on. Cool. Quite happy with that. That was relatively fluid. I climbed with straight arms pretty much all the way around, so that obviously conserved my energy to some degree. A little bit pumpy, but it is the first climb, so I do expect that to happen. But yeah, good little warm up. Nice to get the body moving on the wall again. But yeah, I'm going to jump into, I think, straight into the blue F7A, because I think my endurance is going to be so bad that if I did another route first and then tried that one, I think I'd just be too pumped. So I think I'm going to jump into the blue one next, which is F7A or V6. So we'll give that a go after a few minutes rest. Okay, you're going to jump into the blue. Now it starts here and here, cross hand, and it goes right to left as well, same as the green. So going to be coming out this way. I think the first move is going to be bigger to here, then walk the feet through to get the hand into this before matching this hold. And then I'm not sure which of these two I'll grab onto, possibly this one in this position, and then get the right hand into here. That already feels like it's going to be quite a tough move, to make sure that my feet are very good and my hips are very close to the wall, because this is somewhat slopey, a bit of a pinch, and I don't want to burn myself out in terms of energy too hard on here. So it's definitely a massive step up, obviously, from the green, and I need to make sure that my body positioning is immaculate so that I don't waste energy, certainly in the earlier stages, because I've got to come all the way around and back down again. But in terms of the sequence, it looks relatively simple to read. I say that now, it might be different when I get on there. But from where I'm standing and what I can see, it looks okay. It's just going to be a test of my endurance and also making sure that my mobility and my hip positioning and my body positioning is very effective, so that the weight goes through my feet and not my hands, and I'm not over gripping on the holds and getting overly pumped. So we'll jump into it now and yeah, see how far we can get. Should be a good tester. my God. Wow, I'm really happy with that. I started really losing my grip coming down this section, and I had a bit of trouble figuring out the sequence here, getting my hands in the right place and finding the right feet. I ended up kind of missing and, you know, really struggling to get the right holds. So yeah, by the time I got to these holds in here, coming across, and particularly the last, my fingers were opening up from the half crimp into such a drag in such a big way. I only just managed to hold on at the end, so I'm super pumped now. But yeah, really happy with that. I really enjoyed that. It's very different to bouldering. I like the movement and the flow you can get into on these routes. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm really happy that I did that. First try, flashed it, 7A. So yeah, enjoyed that a lot. I'd love to try something else, like a 7B, but I think I might have to rest for an hour before I try that. So we'll see how we get on. This might be a bit of a short video because yeah, I am super pumped, but yeah, that was class. I enjoyed that a lot. Okay, I've had a little bit of a rest now, maybe 10 minutes. I don't know that I'm going to feel any less pumped if I rest for any longer. I'll probably just get a bit cold, so I want to stay warmed up enough. I'm just going to jump into the Wasp, which is an F7B, which I think is basically a V8 equivalent. So it starts with 2 hands on this hold, and then it goes left to right. So I'm actually going the opposite direction this time, around this way, in an anti-clockwise motion. And a lot of these holds already look much more slopey, which is not my style. Certainly coming up the right side here, these, I don't think they're in cut at all, they're just big slopers. So body positioning in particular on them is going to be crucial. And it's really going to test me a lot, this. I don't think I'll be able to do it. I'm already quite pumped, like I said before. And it's obviously a bit of a step up from the blue. But I'm going to jump into it, see how we get on. And yeah, just try my best, try and fight through it. Hopefully I can flow similarly to how I did on the blue, but I think I'll spend more time trying to figure out body positions on this because it won't come as naturally because the grade's more difficult. So we'll jump in and see how we get on. Bit of ambition, see what we can do. Maybe that's I'm not sure if that's meant to be a crossover or not. That's already so much harder. I'm not even pumped at this stage, I just couldn't figure out the move. I thought it would be a crossover up to here from the undercling, but reaching my foot through to this hold is quite a long way from where my foot was on here, so locking off in this position very close and coming over is tough. So I might have to match this, which is doable, but then I have to match this as well, which is much less doable. So I do think it has to be a crossover. Otherwise I'd have to cross through here, which makes less sense. So I'm just gonna try this move in isolation, see if we can do it. But I think it should be locking off the right bicep in close, coming over with the left hand. I do think I need my feet on these two. So I have to get used to that body position. And I can have a drop knee here initially, and once I've reached this, I can then turn the drop knee to the other side, I think, which will give me more tension and allow me to push in this direction and get to the next hole. So I think that's how it's meant to be done. We'll try and do that. Oh, I'm so pumped. The moves, each individual move is just so much more challenging. The V6, the movements was much easier. The movements on here, I think I did them in the right way, but the amount of energy it drains me to do those moves individually is so much more than on the blue for each individual move. So I was knackered by the time I got to here, and that's a very slopey hold. But I think I did the sequence right. I'm pretty happy with how I climbed in there. And yeah, I'm glad I managed to figure out that move. It was very reachy for me. The one I fell off initially in here. Long way coming under up to here. Blocking off the bicep from very stretched feet. I don't know, I need to work on my technique a lot. Focus on getting more tension through the feet in that position, because I think I was muscling my way through a lot more with my arms in here than someone with good technique would have done. So yeah, no surprise that I fell off there. But yeah, coming up this side was very tough as well. Getting the hand up. I think I did the sequence right, keeping this one locked in tight and then coming up with the left, getting the foot up and then matching and coming over. I probably should have spent a bit less time on this hold and just pushed straight to that one. But yeah, wasn't sure how the route was meant to be done, so it took me a little while to figure out. But yeah, happy with how I crossed through. The flag underneath was really effective, coming into here and then getting the hand up, and I was just too pumped to hold on. So happy with that. I'll probably rest for a little bit and then try it from where I ended up and go from there, see if we can do the rest. But yeah, it's definitely a big step up, unsurprisingly, from the blue one. So yeah, good fun though. Okay, gonna give it another go now from where I fell off. So I'm just gonna walk up the other holds and then establish on the right hand on there and the left hand on this lower one, and try and figure out the sequence coming around the corner. I think I might need to do that relatively dynamically, kind of swing into this hold. It's probably the most efficient way of doing that to conserve some energy. And then walking my way across. The section going across looks okay. Coming down looks more tricky in terms of where to position my feet. There's not loads of footholds. I can use the volume obviously, but yeah, body position wise coming down looks quite tough. And then back to the start. But yeah, hopefully I can figure out these moves. Won't take me too many goes. And yeah, I can do it all in different stages. And then maybe another day I can come back and try and do it all in once. But that won't be today because I'm too pumped. I think I got my hands mixed up there. I think I need to go right hand lower and then left hand a bit higher up on this one. No worry, that's okay. Yeah, I came left down here and right up here. I think I should have gone right here, then left, and then right into here. Makes more sense. So I'll just try that last move and do that way again. There you go. So yeah, one subtle change in my hands, and that was a lot easier than it looked. Down sequence was tough, like I thought it would be, but yeah, pretty happy with how I climbed that. And yeah, glad that I did all the parts. Just need to put it all together without getting too fatigued now. So I might have one more go, see if I can do the route, but I think I'll be too pumped today. So we'll just see how far we can get without falling after about 15 minutes of rest now. So okay, I've rested for a good while now, but I'm still super pumped, so I don't know how far I'll get. The aim will be to just get further than I got the first try, because obviously I know the route now, so it should flow a bit better, but I will be more pumped on this attempt, so I'm not expecting too much. But yeah, if I get past this hold and get round the corner, I'll be super chuffed with that. So we'll just jump on, see how we get on. Yeah, just lost the right hand on that, so I'm going to give this a brush. Wow, I think I'm just too fatigued. That move is very tricky. My feet obviously aren't quite right. And I think as I'm reaching the hold, I'm knocking my right hand with the left arm as I come through. So I need to do it more accurately. It's funny how that felt okay earlier, and now I just can't do it at all. Let's get one more go and see how far we can get from the start. But yeah, it's proving harder than I was hoping. Yeah, just giving some of these holds a brush to give myself the best chance of getting around. But yeah, I think I need to focus more on the feet again, think a lot more about my hip positioning. I think I'm too far off the wall, so it's making it much more difficult. So I need to get my hips in a lot closer, and then I should be able to hold that and then turn the toes to reach across to the right again. So I think from there I should be able to do the rest as long as I don't get too pumped. But yeah, see how we go. Got nothing left, absolutely nothing left. I always find on those slopey holds it drains my energy so much more. I always say this, and it's just the way I feel, it's the way it is. So yeah, all those holes there are very slopey. These kind of 5 that come across here, so really so difficult to hold on to that. But it's a cool route. I'm glad that I did it all in individual pieces. And like I say, I'll come back another day and see if I can send it in one go. But yeah, a lot of work to do on the endurance, unsurprisingly, because I haven't done any endurance training. But yeah, it's good to do this today. Give it a little change. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot, and I do appreciate all your support. But most importantly, as always, make sure you grab life by the plums, and I'll see you in the next one.